our special guest, Reverend Dr. Edmond Saki Brown.
Paint pen is better than a sharp brain. Whatever you write down several years back, you can go to refer to it. So you are giving people something that they have permanently with them, they can refer. So that's one reason I prefer that the spoken word should be decoded.
Heute wird ein besonderer Tag für uns alle und wir haben eine besondere Gast, eine Gottesmann, soll ich so sagen. Und der hat was Besonderes, der möchte was mit uns teilen, seine Leidenschaft, was er gerne mag, was er liebt, in Kombination mit seinem Dienst, den Herr ihn berufen habe.
Der Herr auch heute noch Wunder, Stunde um Stunde, Tag für Tag, Tag für Tag.
Personality, so I wanted to walk in a room with presence, and everything I had to say will be worth listening to. So I started not only losing weight, I started educating myself. I wanted to be the best in my field, an expert. I wanted to discipline my body. I'm in charge of you, my body. I'm keeping you active. I'm building my metabolism. I want to be mentally available, and I wanted to protect my peace of mind. So I had all of this.
This program is sponsored by Fresh Manna Bookshop. Here you can get various types of Christian literature, such as books from Reverend Edmond Saki Brown. H&H Couture is a Christian online shop. There you can get main Christian fashion wear for yourself and family and also loved ones, such as t-shirts, hoodies, and many more. So everybody, hello family. We are back again today. Today being the 19th of July, Grace Network, we are back on your stream. And today we have something special for you. We have someone straight all the way from United Kingdom who is here to educate us. And but before going there, I just want to introduce you guys. Today I'm not alone. I have my sister Gifty. Hello.
Hello guys.
Sister Gifty straight from Germany. She's going to be my co-pilot today, my co-host. She's going to fly this plane with me. So and guys, before we go into business, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Today, I promise you guys it's going to be something special. It's going to be unique, and it is my prayer, my heart desire that you guys or someone would take something or learn something out of it, because that's all what Grace Networking is about. We are here to connect, motivate, and educate. And today it's more about education. We are to educate each other, not only that, also to motivate each other to gain back our self-esteem. So, not talking much, today we are proudly sponsored by Fresh Manna Bookshop. Fresh Manna Bookshop is a Christian bookshop from Reverend Pastor Edmond Saki Brown, and there you can purchase more books about marriages, about family, about tithing, and much more. Just make time and check on the network, and you'll be blessed. And also, we are proudly sponsored by Higher Habits, H&H Couture, and it is also a Christian fashion wear, also an online shop where you can also purchase some. I think I'm having my own here. Yes. Gesegnet simply means I'm blessed. You can also purchase it in different, also in hoodie, in cappies, in all kind of accessories. So people, but I'm wasting much of your time. I just want to go straight to business. And our guest today is, are you ready? It's like Gifty. I think I'll take you out for now.
All right. See you guys later. Okay.
So, people, this is our guest all the way from United Kingdom. Hello, Pat.
Hi everyone.
So, actually, Pat is one of my closest friends. I mean, we've known each other since childhood. We've been in the same school, and she migrated to United Kingdom. And since we've been connected, and she's doing so marvelously well. And I thought of maybe she has something to share for us. I mean, she has something for us, and she's in the medical field. She's qualified, she's trained, and I personally say she's international qualified, trained midwife. But I will not go much into it. I think she will have time and let us know about her. So people, stay blessed, and also don't forget to share the link. Let people know about this. I know and I believe it's going to be something unique, and I don't want anybody to pass or miss this. So share the link and share the link and share the link. And don't forget, try to send your questions alongside, and most of your questions, not all of them, but most of your questions will be picked and be answered by my dear sister Pat. So Pat, please, I'll leave you alone, and you have the platform for yourself.
Right.
And you have the next 22 minutes for yourself. So keep the faith. Let's go.
Lovely. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, George and team. It's an absolute pleasure to be joining you this evening from London. And as George said, we've known each other for a while. And yeah, it's just great to be on this platform to share some information with you. So I'll just sort of go through what I'll be talking to you about today. So the topic, as you know, is called health and wellness. And I do have a subtitle, and it's called Taking Control, because I thought that I would give us a bit of a focus, because health and wellness is quite broad. But what are we really here to discuss today? So a bit of an agenda. So I'll give you some background and context. So a little bit about myself and what I do, taking control of your health, and we'll talk about physical and mental health as well. And then we can have some Q&A at the end. So taking control. So what does it mean to actually take control? So, you know, we all know what it means. And I know this is a platform where there's quite people from all over the world. So whatever it means to you, but majority, it means to take ownership, to take responsibility, and to take charge. So when it comes to your health, you need to be in charge. For example, you are the only one that will know if your health is compromised in any way. As a result, you have to take the decision to get some medical attention. So, for example, if you've got a headache, nobody's going to know that you have a headache unless you tell them that you have a headache. If you choose to keep it to yourself, then unfortunately, you will suffer in silence. If you choose to tell somebody, then somebody might say to you, have you tried taking some paracetamol? And then you might say, oh, actually, yeah, let me try and take some paracetamol. So then you have actually sought advice, okay? Even if it's not a doctor, you've spoken to somebody. So communication is really important when it comes to taking control of our health. So you must take control of your health all the time, at all times, whether it's physical or your mental health. So a bit about background and context. So a bit about me. So my name is Patince. You can call me Pat, Pat for short. I'm a midwife by profession. I'm qualified registered midwife in the United Kingdom. And I've worked in different departments of maternity. And yes, I have delivered babies, because that's the icing on the top, and everybody wants to know about that. But yes, it's wonderful delivering babies. But it does go beyond that. You have to look at the care as a whole. You look at the woman as a whole, the woman and her family. So I do love my job, and hence why I'm here today. So I do have a slogan, and I do have a strap line in life. And it means, you know, for me, it means to work hard, to have fun, because I believe life is a beautiful thing. You know, so there's no point of you living life and, you know, not enjoying life. So I believe that if I work hard and have fun, I will really enjoy my life. I do have a vision. My vision is to be number one in everything I do. As simple as that. Not number two, not number three, to be number one. I want to be the number one midwife. I want to be the number one wife. I want to be the number one sister, number one daughter, number one anything, everything that I do. I want to be number one. And to help me get there, I want to work hard and make the most of my day. So my day to day, everything that I do in a day is towards my vision. So I have to make sure that I get the most out of my day. So why did I choose to have this vision? Why, why health? Why well-being? Why wellness? Because as I said, life is a beautiful thing. And I believe that you take control of it and you have to change it. Okay. If you don't change your situation, if you're not happy about your current situation, do something about it. So 4 years ago, I decided to take a whole person approach to my life. And I'll speak about that a little bit more. So spiritually, I wanted good spiritual energy. Financially, I wanted to be financially intelligent. I wanted to be in charge of my money. Mentally, I wanted to have a positive mental energy. I wanted to be physically strong and have a well body. I wanted to look at my body and be like, wow, I'm doing well and I feel good. Socially, I wanted to mix with different kinds of people and I wanted to network. I wanted to make new friends. I wanted to be digitally intelligent. I mean, this is something that, we can talk and go on and on about digital intelligence and the digital world, because as we all know, this world is moving that way. The technology, the emerging technologies is amazing, and it will be such a shame if you're not part of it, because you only lose. You will definitely feel left out. So I wanted to know what this is all about. What is technology? Why is everybody so crazy about it? So I decided to make that my priority. So I'm still on that journey. I'm not excellent at it yet, but it's definitely something that I am doing. So I'll give you a case study. So, you might be thinking, oh, so, what's the big deal about changing your life? And what happened to you? Why did you want to make such a big difference in your life? So I remember in 2016, I went to see my GP. And, just a routine checkup. And usually when you go, they get you to stand on the scales because they want to, make sure that their record is up to date. So I did. And the GP said, you're a little bit overweight. And I thought, oh, how rude. And, the GP said, but don't worry, patients. You can control it because, I'm not the tallest person. I'm quite short. And according to my weight, I was too short. I was too big for my height. That's all it means, your body mass index. So I thought, okay, so what can we do? So it was actually meant to be about 25 for my height, and I was 31. So you can see there's quite a big, increase. So I needed to really bring it down. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I said to the doctor, well, surely you're going to refer me to a specialist, a nutritionist, somebody to help me. And she looked at me. She didn't laugh, but she kind of thought, okay. So specialist support is there for people that have diabetes or have some kind of eating disorders. And I thought, okay, so what's there for me? But I kind of felt okay because I thought, okay, so you're not that, that worried about me then if you don't feel like I need specialist advice. But she said, you do, but you don't qualify for it, as free. So I thought, right, okay, so what am I going to do now? Who's going to pay for me to help me lose weight? And then the light almost went on because this GP was just sat there looking at me thinking, nobody's going to pay for you. And I thought, I'm going to pay for me. So I thought, right, so that means I'm in charge of my life. I'm in charge of my body. Nobody is. Because you can go on and start blaming everybody about your problem and your issues and what you want to change and why nobody's helping you. But until you take ownership and you're self-aware of what your situation is, nothing is going to change. So I thought, right, I need to do something. So I went home and I found a picture from when I was 19 years old. And I looked at that picture and, I was what I was meant to be. I looked about BMI of 25. I was smiley. I was happy. I thought, this picture, this must be the healthy weight that the doctor wants me to achieve. And I was stylish, free spirit. And I can remember when I was 19 years old. And it's not that, I wanted to be 19 again. I just wanted to age without, getting old. That straight away I just thought, I want to age without getting old. Does that make sense? It's almost like an oxymoron. How can you age without getting old? But I thought, that's what I'm going to do. So I wanted a sharp mind, body, spirit. I wanted a sharp personality, So I wanted to walk in a room with presence, and everything I had to say will be worth listening to. So I started not only losing weight, I started educating myself. I wanted to be the best in my field, an expert. I wanted to discipline my body. I'm in charge of you, my body. I'm keeping you active. I'm building my metabolism. I want to be mentally available. And I wanted to protect my peace of mind. So I had all of this. If you can remember previously what I just mentioned, that physical, that spiritual, that psychological, that energy, that social, everything that you can think of that makes you who you are. And I started writing them down. I very much work with Post-its. I use them quite a lot. And I started writing on Post-its and started posting it all over my house, my room. And I thought, I have to do this. So the picture, the 19-year-old picture, I actually printed it and I framed it and I put it in my living room. So every time I walk in, I will look at this picture and I'll be like, I'm coming for you, girl. I wanted to be nobody else but myself, the better me. And that's where sometimes we miss it, that you do have, you have what you got and you are who you want to be. It's just that you want to be a better you, physically and mentally. And, yes, role models are good, but just remember that you are the only person that can get yourself to where you want to be. People can only influence, inspire you. They cannot, have you heard a saying, you can take the horse to the river, but you cannot make it drink? So that means, that goes back to the subtitle, take control, taking control, being in charge and taking that responsibility, being responsible for you, being self-aware. And I think we're coming up to the second part of this. I do beg your pardon. I think we've got 6 minutes. So yes, take control of who you want to be and try not to focus too much on somebody else. I want to be, I don't know, somebody that you've seen on social media or somebody that, it's okay to have role models, but just remember that you look at them as a guide. What's a guidance? A guidance is something that, it gives you the sort of steps of how to get to a place, but actually you can modify it. Okay, you don't have to go through this route to get there. You can go another route if you feel that's more suitable. So you have to look at role models as guidance. You don't look at them as people that you have to be. You want to be you. You want to be the best of you, physically and mentally. And lastly, I decided to surround myself with people with positive energy. I mean, what a beautiful thing to wake up in the morning with somebody that will say, good morning, how are you? What a big difference to somebody that you would wake up with and they're moody, a household that is just not right. So I thought, no, I just want to change everything about me. I want to change my environment. I want to change the people I talk to. I want to change the people that I'm around, because sometimes when you're around people that have bad energy, you feed off. See, if you spend time with somebody for about, I'll say 14 days, you start talking like them. You will start picking up things. The thing with me, I'm very, I don't really know the right word to use, but I'm very good at sticking to rules and I'm very good at picking things up. So I remember my very, very good friend, I'll go and visit her and I'll leave. And when I come back, I'll be speaking to people on the phone. They'll be like, you sound like Safisa. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I pick things up very easily. So if I'm to stay with my friend for about 2 years, I'll become like her, and that's just an example, it's just an example. And also what I'm trying to say is just be careful of the people that you surround yourself with. Be careful of your circle of friends. I'm not saying that you should go around saying you're bad for me, you're bad for me, you're bad for me. But no, you need to be a good judge. You need to be able to judge people's character. So you need to, be around certain people for an amount of time and actually be like, this person can do that for me. This person is in my life for a short period of time. This person is somebody that can be in my life for a very long period of time. You know, what can I gain from this person? What can this person gain from me? If you feel that it's a one-way relationship, that is not a healthy one. If this person makes you feel uncomfortable, it's not healthy. If you make that person feel uncomfortable, it's not healthy. If you're not being productive when you're around somebody, that's not healthy neither. You know, because you're meant to be influencing people, and people are meant to be influencing you in a positive manner. So that is, you know, I'm not going to dwell so much on that last point there, you know, about surrounding yourself with people with good, positive energy. But the most important thing, and the reason why you should observe people and what energy they bring to you, is that it does have an impact on your mental well-being. It really does. Your peace of mind is really important. If you're not able to cope mentally, it affects you physically. It affects your productivity. It affects your daily routine. It affects you. And we'll go into mental health later on. But, you know, just be aware of that. So, yes, I had 4 years ago, I just summed this up. I decided to take a big change in my life. I wanted to change what I look like. I wanted to improve that BMI, and I wanted to prove that doctor, you know, not wrong, but I wanted to surprise her. And I did. And actually being accountable, and we'll come to accountability later on, having that person, that somebody that will check on you and be like, but Pat, remember you said this, remember you said that. And sometimes we're all very, you know, we're very shy when it comes to criticisms. Now, another thing that I am good at is, you know, I grew up in an African family. And when you do that, and a few, you know, I know there's quite a few backgrounds and cultures that are quite similar. You're always being checked up on. And sometimes you almost have to report everything that you do. So things like, for example, you know, you're always looking for approval of what you've done and to see if you've done it right, you know, especially if you were educated in Africa and you lived in the barracks, your father is the soldier and whatnot. You know, it's very regimented and very disciplined kind of life. So you always want to check that everything you've done is right. And I've kind of got this still with me. So I like to have somebody that I can check with. So somebody to say, look, can you just make sure that I said I'll do this at the end of the week. Could you just check on me? Can you just make sure that I've done it? So you're accountable to that person. That person will be checking up on you. So you feel like, oh, actually, it's not just you that you're letting down, you're letting them down as well. Another example that I'll give you in terms of mental well-being. Now, I have a friend, this same friend I'm talking about, and she's a mental health nurse. And I remember about a year and a half ago, I don't know what happened to me, and I just felt quite low. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? But because, I don't know, maybe because of my profession, I was very, very aware that I wasn't feeling right. I was just feeling a bit tearful. And I felt like, why am I even tearful? Why am I even upset? I don't understand. And I called her and I was like, oh my God, can you please do an assessment on me? She laughed. She's like, what do you mean do an assessment? I said, oh, I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether I'm depressed. I mean, this had been for about 4 hours, right, that I'm feeling like this. And I said to her, oh gosh, I don't know what's going on. I feel really tearful. I just don't know why I'm crying. And then she was like, babe, just slow down, just calm down. Like, what's been going on? And, you know, my friend, I do talk to her quite a lot about quite a lot of stuff. So she knew what was going on in my life. And she's like, look, you need to stop. You are expecting far too much of yourself. And this is something that I will talk about later on when we touch on mental health. You need to know your capacity. You need to know how much you can take on. You need to know what can be demanded of you and what you can deliver. You know, because if you take too much on, you only end up disappointing people and you only end up disappointing yourself. So she said to me, I had to sit back and, everything that you've told me is far too much for you. And you've got too much people trying to get a lot of things out of you. Just say that you can't do them. And I felt like, can I say that? Can I tell people that I can't do something? Yes, you can, she said. What makes you think you cannot? And I felt like, wow, okay. So that's okay then. Yes, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, do you know what? I feel like I'm not the best person for this task. Maybe somebody else would be better placed. It's all about finding different ways of trying to control. And we come back to that taking control again. You need to take control of the situation. You need to take control of your life. You need to take control of your mental health and your physical health. Because if you don't, you end up being piled on, and things will be piled on, and things will be piled on. And then, have you heard the term jack of all trades, master of none? You have everything there that everybody thinks you can do, but actually you're no good at doing anything, because you don't even know who you are and what you can do. You're taking too much on. So you can step back and say, do you know what? This I can do. If you want me to do this, I won't be able to complete it in this time that you want it to be done. However, this is when I can complete it. Communication, relationship with people. Let people understand where you stand, because I also believe that you give people, you have control over how people treat you as well. So how you put yourself across is how people will treat you. And I hope this really does make sense, this sort of introductory first stage of who I am, my background, my ethos, my vision, my mission, the choices I've made in life, why I made those choices, from walking into the GP surgery and coming out and thinking, I want to be that 19-year-old again. I want to age without getting old, into actually having a whole change in my life, spiritually, mentally, psychologically, physically, financially, digitally. We're still getting there with the digital. But, it's just being aware of what is going on, who you are and what you want. Because I tell you what, and, I hope there are young people listening, because you are the future. And life is such a beautiful thing. And until you know and you say that to yourself, you will never, ever know how beautiful life is. If anybody comes to me right now and say to me, I will give you £1 million and, you can live a certain way where you're limited, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah, 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 in exchange for my life right now, I'll say no. I will say no, because I feel like I have the freedom to do whatever I want, and I have that control of my life. So please do take control of your life, be that responsible person and take charge. Because if you don't, somebody else would. If you do not take charge of your life, somebody else would. And I hope this helps you to go home, or after you listen to this show today, that you can actually sit down and think to yourself, what are the things spiritually that I want to do for myself? Look at yourself spiritually, look at yourself financially. Don't be afraid. People get afraid about money. I mean, what is there to be afraid about? Talk to your money. Say to your money, this is what I want you to do. Write it down. If you have debts, write them down so that you know that this is what you've got to deal with. Mentally, have a look at your mental health and say, am I mentally sound? Do I have that peace of mind? What can I offload? I've got too much in my mind. Can I offload something? Can I say no to something? Physically, if you love being, if you love your body, fine. Love your body, but show that you love your body. Have that confidence. Whatever you look like, just make sure that you're well. Socially, are you mixing with people? Are you learning from people? That's why we mix with people, so we can learn from them, we can network. and digital intelligence. Trust me, if you don't join this age, you will be stuck behind. I'm trying to catch on. So I hope that you will as well. So I hope you write these things down and go through them and see where it is that you can improve. So I'm going to hand you back into the hands of George so he can carry on with the program. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you so much. Wow. I think we are not done. We are just beginning. She's about to go into details. But before then, I just want us to go for a short commercial break. And I'll hand it over to my co-pilot, Sister Gifty. Gifty, I hope you are ready. So now let's go for a short commercial break. The program is sponsored by Fresh Manna Bookshop. Here you can get various types of Christian literature, such as books from Reverend Edmond Sagabra. H&H Couture is a Christian online shop. There you can get many Christian fashion wear for yourself and family and also loved ones, such as t-shirts, hoodies, and many more.
Hello guys, hey guys, welcome back to our second session. Today's program being titled My Passion Story, and we have our guest speaker all the way from UK, Sister Patince. So far, I strongly believe that we have all learned a lot. And take out your books wherever that you are. Just note something down, because this is very, very, very educative. And I believe that the next session will be great as well. God bless you. Sister Patince, I hand it over to you again to continue the next session. And we strongly believe that there are more to give to us and we are ready for everything. That is so great. And God bless you for that.
Thank you very much.
Pat, feel free.
Yeah.
Don't be limited. Just flow. And when you're ready to end, just let us know.
Okay, great.
Come on, let's go.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so we finished the first part with a bit of a case study, and I gave you a few examples of what I have encountered in my life and how I've dealt with stresses. So let's go into physical health. So what is physical health? What do you see or what do you perceive as physical health? So physical health can be interpreted in all different kinds of ways, but it's anything that affects your body, your whole being as a human being. So it's the body itself, the build up, the structure of your body. So treating your body like it is the most expensive product in the world, that's good physical health, So you have to, we're going back to, if you remember, to the subtitle of taking control. So you need to take control of your physical health. You have to cherish it. Like when you've just bought fresh eggs or something and you're walking home and your mum is said to you, they must not crack. You protect that egg with everything. How I sometimes see it is, what would you do if you were being given this brand new body? Like you woke up tomorrow and you've been given this brand new body, and this person that's giving you this body said to you, here you go, congratulations, forget about whatever you've done with your previous body. This is a new one, it's whole, no illnesses, no diseases, no infection, nothing. Yeah, this is brand new. What would you do different? So you need to think about that. Now, let tomorrow be your brand new body. Start making plans on how you are going to look after this expensive body that money cannot buy. It's priceless. And it sounds stupid, but that's how you've got to see your body. It is priceless. You can't put a price on it. Because how you treat your body is how your body will treat you. Yes. So I'll just give you an example from maternity. I know a lot of times I do say this a lot to quite a few close friends and family members of mine, and it's because of what I've seen. And I always say, try and be the best of you, like physically. Try to be so healthy, because when you get pregnant, pregnancy can induce a lot of illnesses, And I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but it is the truth of the matter. And some people are at higher risk than others of getting some kind of illnesses in pregnancy. So if you sort of do your best, and this is preventative here. So we have two types, when it comes to physical health, and we're looking at two aspects here. We're looking at preventative and we're looking at cure. So we're going to focus on preventative here, okay? So you're trying to reduce your chances of getting some kind of illnesses, or some diseases or some illnesses. So in your mind, you have to think, well, what can I do? And I know wherever you are, whichever country you are, there's a lot of public health information out there, and there's a lot of awareness on healthy lifestyle. I mean, you could not get enough information on healthy lifestyle these days. All you have to do is just type it in a search engine, healthy lifestyle, and you see all sorts coming up. But what do you usually see? Exercise. You see a lot of fruits, you see vegetables, you see water, you see blended juice, blended vegetables, this, that, and the other. Now, globally, every country is focused on improving the health of children. So schools have a mandate. They have to put things in place on how children feed and educating children. Even the way that they precision food at school, it's all different. They use behavioral science techniques to do these things, by placing the healthy food before the unhealthy food. So as a child, when you're walking and you grab your plate and you see that, you see the cucumbers and the carrots, you're grabbing it. By the time you get to the burgers and the chips, you're like, oh, my plate is full. I'll do that tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, it's the same principle. Eventually, you'll forget about the burgers and the chips. So these are all public health initiatives. So globally, there is a mandate to get us to be healthier, and every single country has a responsibility, and every single one of us have our own responsibility. It's a bit like climate change and trying to make the world green. We all have our responsibility. So it's the same with your body. You take that step today, tonight, tomorrow, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Take that step and look at your body and be like, this is a body that I've been given, brand new body. What can I do with it? And I'm not talking about being underweight or being overweight. The shape of your body doesn't really matter. It's how you look after it. It's what you put in your body. Look at your meals, nutrition. Are you eating well? What do I mean by eating well? Because eating well for somebody could mean eating a lot of, food that's carbohydrate based. Eating well for another person will be eating a lot of food that is protein based. For somebody, it's about just juicing. So we all interpret it differently. What I would advise you to do is, if you're unsure, please seek your medical advice. Talk to your doctor, and you can get a bit of advice on, doctor, what does it mean for me to eat well? I want to take this journey. What can I do? Or if you want to go privately, there are a lot of programs out there that you can get part of, and they educate you. So I'll give you an example. In 2007, I joined a nutrition program, and they trained me to make better choices when it comes to food. Now, I don't know, have you heard of AA, Alcoholic Anonymous or something? Not that I'm alcoholic, I'm just using this as an example. And, people that do join AA, they're very brave as well. And, it's the same kind of, approach. So you join this group, and I know people usually don't like to attend meetings where there are other people because they find it a bit intimidating. But I found it the most effective way of educating me about food. And also, remember when I spoke about accountability? The group they became a group that I was accountable to, because through the week, now I used to go there and get weighed every Saturday, right? Because remember my journey, I went to the doctors. Doctor told me that I was a bit too big for my height, so I had to reduce. So I joined this group and I was paying for it. It wasn't free. And I felt in the week that actually every bad choice that I made in terms of the food that I put in my mouth that I shouldn't is letting the group down. Because we're doing it as a group. So it was really good. The technique they used was really clever. Not only that, they didn't tell us you can't eat this and you can't eat that. But what they did, they had this app. So going back to digital technology, the emerging things and amazing things that technology can do. So we've got this app that we scan the food. So let's say a packet of biscuits. You scan it. And it tells you that this is, 17 points. So I've got this rich tea biscuits in my hand and I've scanned it and it's telling me 17 points. So what they did was everybody had a target for the week. So for example, my target was 30 points for one day, 30 points a day. I think it worked out to be about 900 calories. So I could only eat 900 calories a day. Now, if you think about 900 calories, is not a lot. So you had to be very clever in what you ate. So I had to then make smart choices. Am I going to eat this rich tea biscuit that is scanning 17 points? Because remember, if I eat this rich tea biscuit and it's 17 points, take away 17 from 30. I don't really have much left for the day. So I will put it aside and be like, no, I can't have you. You cost me too much. So I started understanding the principle of it. If I eat this, it's costing me too much. So I started making healthier options. So what were the free? So you could have zero food that cost you nothing. So what were they? The fruits and the vegetables. So I started packing my lunch box with the carrots and the grapes and the bananas and the mangoes and the vegetables. And, I made all these wonderful things with them. And I'll take it to work. And then I'll have a yogurt, which would be like 5 points. So actually, in the whole day, when I'm at work, I'll be having about 8, 9 points. And then I'll come home and I'll have my dinner, which is about, 17 points or something. So that will be like a reward. And I understood it. And actually, when my body knew that I had taken control, my body then had to obey and my body had to get on board. So then I stopped craving the things that I used to crave, which was making me unwell. Because actually, when you are in a state where being unwell doesn't always mean that you're bedridden. You could be walking unhealthy. You could be somebody that lives and you're fine, but you could be ill. So I was thinking, my body must have thought, do you know what? Something is going on here. I'm not getting the same thing that I was getting before, but I'm actually functioning the same way. And in other ways, a bit better. One of the challenges that I had was to stop drinking juice, like fruit juices and, fizzy drinks, some countries call it minerals. So Coke and Fanta and things like that. So that was a big challenge because we all love that. It's sweet and we crave it. So I said to myself, right, I'm going to drink water. So how am I going to do this? So I had to gradually stop drinking these drinks. So you can't, it's a bit like weaning yourself off something. You can't stop like that, you can't, it's just not, your body can't handle it. So you have to gradually, you have to put your body in a program. So I started having water with a bit of flavor in it. And then eventually just started reducing the flavoring. And then it just eventually became just water. So then my body didn't react to it because otherwise you will start withdrawing. If you start, it's a bit like being on narcotics, being on drugs. If you stop like that, you start withdrawing and you would have to take the drugs. So you need to start bringing it down gradually. So my body then just got used to just having that water. And now, we're talking about since 2017, I go to sleep with water by my bedside. I drive. I have to have water in my car. I'm drinking water throughout the day. I've got water here right now. I cannot live without it. I wake up, the first thing I want to drink is water. I go to bed, the last thing I drink is water. Water with my food, with my meal. I advise everybody to drink water. You just cannot go wrong with it, you know. So if that's one of the things you take away today, please just, I love challenges. Oh gosh, if you know me, you know me. I love challenges. Just challenge yourself, even if it's for a week, okay, to drink water. You can do a program. You can sort of buy yourself one of these diluted drinks and just, you know, swap that with your minerals or with your fizzy drinks, a little bit of that in the water. And then as the day goes on, reduce it, and make sure the last day, so what, today's Saturday, so next week Saturday, you have water, clear water, and see how you get on. And then the following week, keep having water throughout, you know. Once in a while, yes, you can have the odd drinks, but let the water be your norm. Right, so that's about the programming and actually taking control. So, and remember, the whole point of this is what you put in your body is what you get out of it. If you look after your body will look after you. So if you eat less sugar and fat, you're more likely to, you know, to be in a good shape. You're more likely to be healthier, you know, and it will reduce, and it can reduce your chances of getting illnesses like diabetes, high blood pressure, and, you know, obesity, because obesity comes with quite a lot of things. And I mentioned earlier about maternity, you know, my area of, that's my field. And, you know, one of the things that actually, the contributing factors of why I want to live a healthy lifestyle is that I don't want to come across any complications when I'm pregnant. You know, I want to reduce my chances. You know, that's the way to say it, because you really don't know what's going to happen, but you can only help the situation. So that preventative method. And, you know, if you're obese, if you're big, you're putting yourself in a situation where you can become diabetic when you're pregnant, even if you're not diabetic. And this is what people don't understand, that there are pregnancy-induced illnesses. You know, these are illnesses that have come through pregnancy. And it's because there's always an underlying factor. There's an underlying health issue there. Obesity is one of them. So you could become diabetic when you're pregnant if you don't look after yourself, okay? You could have high blood pressure when you're pregnant if you don't look after yourself. You could have cardiac problems when you're pregnant if you don't look after yourself. And you could have respiratory problems as well. So these are things that are there that can happen. And yes, in many ways, sometimes you cannot prevent them, but you can reduce your chances of getting them if you take action today. So attend your medical routine checkups. That's another way of looking after yourself. You know, we get the letter through the post, we open it, we read it, and we put it on the table and don't do anything with it. Now, your GP surgery does have a trigger, and it does tell them to send you this because, for example, I'm a woman, so I can only talk about women things. Smear test. So your smear test every three years in the UK, right? So every 3 years, I get this letter that comes through my post. Patients, go for your smear test. I'll look at it, fine. And I'll call the GP surgery. Can I book my smear test, please? Yes, come and get it done. Done, sorted. Or you could look at it and be like, oh, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Now, think about, what did we say at the beginning? Taking control, be responsible, take charge. Now, your GP has done their part. They've sent you the reminder. The reminder doesn't come with an appointment. So you need to take charge. You need to read that letter and take action. You need to call them and book that appointment. If you don't do it, they're very good. They will send you another reminder. If you don't do it, you probably get another one. But eventually you wouldn't. You know, and these things are for your own good. We're going back to public health again. You know, these are all initiatives. These are all things that the government has spent money on, and they've done research to look into it, to see that actually women that do get screened early, if, you know, they do present with some kind of symptoms of or signs of early cancer, then they can get it treated earlier. You know, that research shows that if it's detected early, the survival rate is very high. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. You have to use it to your advantage, because one thing that I do usually say is that we're not all privileged to have these checkups. So if you're living in an environment or a country where you do have the privilege to get checkups, please do take full advantage of it. And I will use this opportunity to also say that be very careful of information that do circulate, because we have a lot of people that have different perspective and ideas on medicine and science and how it works and whether it's true or not, whether it's real or not. Take control of your own health. Go and read, educate yourself. Okay, you have the power, you have the knowledge. If you don't go and read, somebody, remember, if you don't take control of your life, somebody else would for you. So if you don't read, anybody can feed into you. And then, you're taking information that's not quality controlled, that's not evidence-based, and your health is at risk because people are passing on information that is from probably generations where it's never been proven. So please, if you're unsure about anything, I would say you seek professional advice wherever you are. You cannot go wrong. 100% people like me get paid to provide advice, professional advice. So please, you cannot go wrong with that. And try to stay away from non-evidence-based therapies and treatments. I think we've said enough on that one. Protect yourself against infections and diseases, even more so these challenging times. So, I'm not going to go too much into it. We're in a pandemic. We all know the measures that we have to take to protect ourselves and our loved ones. It's as simple as wearing a mask, washing your hands, observing social distance, if the vaccination is available, so it's as minimal as, washing your hand, put your mask on, to the other end of having a vaccination. If you're not sure about the vaccination, once again, I cannot stress it enough, please speak to a medical professional, speak to your GP, your general practitioner. I'm not quite sure what they call them in other countries, but these are your family doctors, the doctors that are based in the community. Speak to them, speak to your district nurses, speak to your midwife, speak to, whoever is out there. There are helplines, there are duty lines, anything, anybody about anything, not only just to do with, COVID, but about any of the vaccinations out there, and also how to protect yourself from diseases and infections. Sexual transmitted disease, I have to touch on this. It's so passionate, I'm so passionate about it, especially when it comes to our young people. You need to know these things. You have to protect yourself. And it's all about preventative. You need to prevent it. Prevention is better than cure, right? So you need to seek advice. If you're not aware, don't be ignorant. There is information out there, there's support out there, and there definitely is treatment out there. But if you do not speak out and say to somebody, this is what I'm going through, these are my signs, these are my symptoms, nobody can help you. And you'll be suffering in silence. And before you know it, it's deteriorated. And you don't want that. You want it to be seen earlier and get treated. And you have live a wonderful life. Because remember what I said, life is a beautiful thing, and you don't want to miss that out. You don't want to miss out by staying at home and having this lifelong illness that you cannot enjoy your life with. So that's physical health, and I hope that helps you. Now let's move into mental health. Now, mental health, this topic can trigger certain things in a lot of people. If you feel that you are not in an environment where you can get support, as I'm about to share this, please, you are welcome to switch off. Or if you're in an environment where you feel that you do have people around you, please do give somebody a sign that, if you're feeling upset, you will walk out of the room or hug them or something. I just don't want to leave you vulnerable. But mental health, great topic, great subject. We all need it. So what is mental health? Mental health is not just the absence of mental health disorders. Now, we're not going to go, into mental health disorders because it's too personal. And also, you may have questions that I'm probably not in the best place to answer for you. So it's probably best you speak to your health professionals once again, your general practitioner, first point of contact, or a lot of countries have a lot of lines that you can call them and get advice on as well. So there are mental health disorders, but mental health is not just about the absence of it. You can still have mental health disorder and have a healthy mental health. Yeah, you can. It's very, very much possible. I used to work as a specialist mental health midwife, and you would never know that somebody has a certain mental health disorder. They live a normal life, they have a great job, they have a wonderful family. So, there's this whole thing about stigma on mental health, and we're trying to break that. And I'm so pleased that one of the things that have come out of COVID is that people are more aware of their mental health, and the awareness is getting better, and getting more people to recognize it is really important, especially in these challenging times. So, what is mental health? It is a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential. So, to be able to cope with normal stresses of life and get on with their, normal day-to-day activities of life. So anything that sort of, you're fine, you're well, you feel okay, to realize your own potential, you're able to cope. So you have resilience, you have coping mechanisms or strategies on how to deal with normal stresses of life. So the normal things in life, like, I don't know, the stresses of life, for example, and this might be really shabby, but getting the train and the train is running late, and you're becoming really distressed about it. That's normal stresses of life, and to be able to cope with it. So that is what mental health is. So talking about mental health, is really important. It can reduce anxiety and improve well-being. Like your physical health, take control of your mental health. Normalize conversations around mental health as well. Do normalize the conversation. And it's okay to not feel okay. You are allowed to share how you feel. And you're allowed to ask somebody, not only how are you, but how is your mood? You get more out of people when you change language and how you actually, you drive that conversation. How is your mood? Try and use that saying rather than saying, how are you? Because you get more out of people. And also trying to support people that you know or think might be struggling with mental health illness as well. And whatever you are or whichever part of the world you live in, please be aware that you have the right to protect your mental health as well, and seek support and expert advice, and have somebody you can confide in as well, a relative or a friend, that you can sort of share and have that conversation with. And I'm just going to round up here. Know your capacity. We've touched on this before. Know how much you can take on psychologically, and remember, it's okay to say no. And if you feel that, sometimes protecting your peace of mind, if a conversation is becoming really difficult, you are allowed to say, actually, I feel that, this conversation is going to escalate into something that might upset the both of us. Should we visit this conversation another time? Can we come back to it tomorrow? Or can we come back to it in the next 2 hours? Ask for processing time. If somebody's giving you something that is really difficult to digest instantly, just say, can I think over this for a day or so and get back to you? You are allowed to do that. So please take care of yourself, take care of your physical health, your mental health, and remember, you take control, because life is a beautiful thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was very, very educative. For those who just joined us in the middle of the program, we are still on the program entitled My Passion Story. And today we have our guest speaker, Sister Patince, all the way from UK. And we can all testify that indeed everything that she just talked to us about is very, very, very important. Before we go to the session of questions and answers, I would like to just give some points what I wrote down that I really find it very, very educative. She talked about nobody can change your position for you. You have to change your position. Don't wait for somebody to change it for you. You have to take control over your life. So if there is anything that you think is not part of your life, anything that you think is not helpful to you, take control over your life and be you, be yourself, be yourself. And the next point, which I found it very, very, very interesting, is to change your environment and surround yourselves with people with positive energy. I can really cope with that because I'm also a kind of person, I take a lot around me, and I always want to be around people who are positive, because the Bible says that even we should talk positive, we should make positive declarations. God bless you, Sister Patience, and thank you so, so much. So we will just enter into the time of questions and answers. Sister Patience, I strongly believe you are ready. Yes. The first question is, how does my Christian faith play a role in my health and well-being? How does my Christian faith play a role in my health and well-being? So please, can you just give us some points?
Health and well-being, personally, is not limited to a religion or a culture. That's first and foremost. Everybody's entitled to good, health and well-being, regardless of what they believe in or their background. And actually, you're probably in a better position to answer this question because, if you think about Christianity, I'm sure, there are scriptures in the Bible that you can relate to your health and well-being. But the fundamental of it is that you need to know that you should never be ignorant when it comes to, and even, the Bible says that as well. We should be open and we should know what is out there. You need to educate yourself, and you need to know what you can access and how you can access it to help you to gain health and well-being. So yes, so it's not, we can't limit it. You have to think of it as, this is my health, this is what I want out of it. I want to be well, and then you can gain that. When it comes to mental health, people deal with it differently. A lot of people use religion and their belief as resilience, as a coping mechanism. So if that is something that you feel helps you, then by all means do carry on with it. So probably as a Christian, that's where that will come in for you, using that as a coping mechanism. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Since we also have my host, my captain on board, I think George will be reading some comments, and let's see, maybe the audience or the viewers have also put in on some questions that we can also ask, and our Sister Patience is also ready to give answers to the questions. So George, I hand it over to you to read some comments from our viewers.
Sorry.
So you now giving me a post comment reader. Okay, and then let's go. Oh wow, so far so great. It's been amazing. So guys, I'll be reading some of the comments. Actually prefer that people will let us know where they are from, but let's go straight. We have somebody called Edmond Boachi Yadom watching straight live from Ablekuma. Ablekuma NIC place. I think Ablekuma is a city somewhere in Ghana, if I'm sure. I'm not sure. Just yeah, it's sure, right? And somebody say, wow, I like this guest, so beautiful. I don't know which of them. Okay, well, Pat, I think you are the guest. So yeah, you are the guest. Peter and I, we are the host. So some Andra Hagen just said, watching from Germany. Wow. And Sister Erica also watching from Germany. And what do we have there? Watching. Hey, I think we have a lot of Germany. tea shower, and Sister Andra also commented it. Your mental health affects your physical health. Wow, which is very deep. It is really deep. Know your capacity. I like that. Wow, I think Pat made mention of that, and she said she likes it. So say no to. Say no. Say no is healthy. As saying no is healthy. Well, try to help me here. And I don't know, saying no to sex or saying no to healthy. I don't know.
It's okay to say no. Yeah.
Okay. And also we have a create a free or say akoto. Bless you. It's really helps. And also I think Andra is very active over here. She also said, wow, if you don't take charge of your life, somebody else will change it. That one, I think I subscribe to that. You have to stand to your ground. You have to take charge of yourself, or somebody will come and will be directing you and telling you and teaching you. I mean, whatever, but you have to know and take charge of yourself. I think I'll read the last comment, and I think we'll go to the next question. And I think a fear or Akoto also said, yes, don't prove you can't do all. Saying no does not mean you are a weaker vessel or being. Wow. And I have a man, Kofi Vava. I know this man personally. I will not introduce him. I will not say anything to that. I'll just laugh. He's commenting straight from Ghana. He said, great submission. Thanks to his fiance. Yes. And Adra comes in, great show, very educative. Thank you, Sister Patience. So I think Gifty, I think I've read a couple of comments. I think I'll let you go on with the questions. And yes.
Yes, thank you so much, Captain Host. Thank you so much. All right, then we continue with our questions. And the next question for you, Sister Patience, is what will you tell young people facing problems with their identity due to what the society acquires from them? Because as you were saying, you told us that you are short. I'm also short, and and you had a little bit weight, but then you wanted to do something about it, right? And there are so many people, they don't see, or let me say, they cannot go through what you went through. You knew your position and you took control over your life. So what are you telling our youngsters? What are you telling the youth? What are you telling our viewers, those who are also going through such problems? What are you advising us to do? Because there are some people, because they are fat, they think that, oh, they are not loved, they are not cared, and that brings a crash in their identity. So please, can you just give us a little bit light? Can you throw a little bit light on this question for us? That would be very, very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything to do with young people is 100% a passion of mine. And I would say that there's a generational shift here. So, we're dealing with a lot of Generation Zs and, millennials like myself. And, we've come from a different background. And this new generation, they're very, a lot of them don't even know how to live without social media or, technology. A lot of them were born into it. And that influences a lot of their choices and decisions, and body image is one of them, unfortunately. What you have to bear in mind is that everything you see on social media is very much staged. Okay, it's staged. So as a young person, just be very careful the information that you sort of take in from social media. Not only that, it's to do with advice as well. It's so easy to go on a search engine and just type in, what can I do to look good, or what can I do to look better? You get all sorts of things coming out. But I would just like to take you back to one of the points that are made about finding somebody that you can confide in. It's so important to have a physical person. And sometimes it's not easy. It can't be a family member, especially when you're young. It's so difficult to confide in a family member. So, you know, you do have the option to speak to a health professional as well. But it would really help if you have a friend or a family member that you can talk to, you know, a physical person that you can say, look, is there help out there? How can I get that kind of help? So, you know, most importantly, and I know there are people from all over the world, and some access to medical aid is easier in some countries than it is in other countries. But whatever it is, please just seek some support from a reliable source. And that reliable source could be a family member, it could be a friend, or it could be a professional. So, you know, what I would say is, I know it's very, very challenging to be a young person in this day and age. I know how challenging that can be. And there's a lot of emphasis on physical appearance and body image. And, you know, but please just remember that not everything you see is real. And remember what I said, that just aim to be the best of you. Don't try to be somebody else. So if you're anxious because you're thinking, oh, I'm not the best of me, then that's okay. But don't be anxious because you want to be somebody else. Okay? So yeah, definitely professional advice, and make sure that whatever decision you're taking is coming from you, and not because of a friend. I mean, if it comes from the doctor, like me, you know, the doctor said it to me, then that's fine. But don't let it come from social media or something like that.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The next question, I think I can read some questions from the viewers. Since our captain host said our sister Andra is very, very active this evening, and she has also put some questions down. So I will just read one of her questions so that our dear sister patients can also help us with that question. When you have mental health issues, should you see a therapist or rather deliverance? Because a lot can have spiritual roots. Like we Africans, if we are mentally, you know, disturbed, we want to go here, baba, we go to church, we want pastors to be laying there, you know. But we know that there are also some mental issues that demands, you know, medicine and medical support and help. So what can you tell us, please? How can you help us in this question so that we will know what to do next?
Yeah, Andrea, I mean, this is a really, really good question. These are one of the factors of health inequalities and impacts of it. When I talk about health inequalities, there are certain demographics that seem to not have the same health outcomes than others. And for example, in the UK, people from Black, Asian, ethnic minority backgrounds tend to experience a lot of, health inequalities in terms of their well-being and than their white counterparts. And a lot of times, and, you know, this might not be evidence-based, but a lot of times it's to do with the lack of knowledge and what we understand. I'm not saying by all means that, you know, things like deliverance is lack of knowledge, because, you know, sometimes it's what you believe in. However, I just want to buttress on what I said earlier on about not being ignorant. So yes, I'm African as well, and I totally understand the whole conversation about mental illness or, you know, mental health disorders being driven by some kind of demonic spirits. Now, these are clinically diagnosed. So a lot of mental health disorders have been clinically diagnosed. I have worked with service users, so clients that have mental health disorders that have been controlled by medication. And actually, just like I said before, you will see people and you would never know that they have mental health disorders due to the fact, you know, purely because it's been controlled by medication. That goes to the question of, if this is driven by some kind of a demon, then how comes it can be controlled? So these women are these people that I've worked with. Nobody reported to me that they had some kind of deliverance, and I knew the kind of medication they were on, and they were compliant with their medication. So, Andrea, the only thing I would say is that a lot of times people don't seek support, and they don't actually understand what mental health is. Because if you remember from the definition of mental health, it's not the absence of mental health disorders, but it's to be able to cope regardless of what state of mind you're in, and be able to deal with your day-to-day activities. So wherever it is and whatever you're going through, you should be able to cope. And if you can't, then it means that it's not well controlled. So that, I really want people to move from that idea of mental illness or mental health disorders being some kind of a demonic attack, because I think we're living in a society where I think we're more intelligent than that. If just forgive me by saying this, but I think we are so much more intelligent. We have research, and a lot of has been put into developing our knowledge. And I think it would be such a shame if we do not make the most of research and the research that's been done, and still have this mentality of mental health being driven by demons. I mean, it's something that I think as individuals from African backgrounds, we can actually help empower a lot of our friends and families and everybody in our society to understand that mental health is actually a clinically diagnosed disorder. If you have mental health disorder, it's something that is clinically proven and diagnosed and can be controlled with either talking therapy. So you mentioned, Andrea, about therapy. So yes, talking therapy, there are so many out there that is really effective, like cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, is excellent. And a lot of people have that, and they feel they can use that to control and manage their mental health disorders. So please, yes, you can use therapists. It's probably the best choice.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think, Sister Andrea, you're okay with the answer? All right. I'll hand over to my captain host to also read some comments so that our Sister Patience can take a little bit break to drink some water, because we have studied that water is very important for the body. Yes. George is drinking, so let me also take a sip.
So you guys, I'm loving this section. I'm loving this program. Actually, I think, Pat, we will talk afterwards, and probably we'll have another session. We have another session. We are trying to come to an end, but before then, I just want to read a few questions. No questions, sorry, comments on the comment section. And so, what do we have here? Somebody say, "Thank you, sis patient. I like your name." You are so patient that your name is even pass to the nama. Give to please about translate. So, and Sister Andrea also commented again here. I think Sister Andrea is very, very active. Let me let you guys know she's my wife. So please be careful over there. Yes. So and Sister Andrea also commented again. After she's called Andrea Hagen, yes. She said, a person is made up of spirit, soul, and body. Would you say that the mental health is part of your soul? Part is for you. A person is made up of spirit. So actually, I wanted to read. So let's move. If you want to answer, you can answer it. You have that possible choice. Or I'll just continue. A person is made up of spirit and soul and body. Will you say that mental health is part of our soul?
So yes, Andrea. So if you think about what I said at the beginning about having a whole person approach, so we are beings and we have different aspects which makes us who we are. So if I kind of go back to the list that I gave there, and I will be very quick, spirituality, financial, mental, physical, social, and digital. So to me, this is what makes who you are. And you cannot do this in isolation of either one of them. So yes, in a way, yes, mental health is part of your soul, because if you put your soul as part of your spiritual life, yes, it can be, because if you don't have good mental health, it will affect your soul, it will affect your spirit, it will affect your finance, it will affect your physical health, it will affect your social lifestyle as well, because you wouldn't want to speak to anybody. And it can affect your ability to want to educate yourself as well. So yes, your mental health and your mental health being is part of your soul, but not in isolation, and does not limit. So it's part of it. Soul is part of it, but not the only thing. I would say it's part of everything that makes who you are.
Okay, thank you so much. Hey, viewers, I think next time the people sending their questions, I'm receiving private messages on the questions. Next time, please try to tune in on time. So if you come early, I'll read your question. If you come late, I don't know when I'll read your question. So we have only 10 minutes on our time list. Before we go to the remark and also the last words from Sister Patience, I think I have a short announcement to make, if it's okay with you guys. So for our viewers, those people watching us for their first time, tuning in on Grace Networking, actually this is a Grace Network, and Grace Networking is actually a platform brought to birth, created for youth and young adults. It's simply there for us to educate, equip, motivate, and connect with each other across the globe. So you can see on the comment section, we have people watching straight from China. I know 1, 2, 3 guys who are watching from China, and multiple people watching from Ghana, from Germany, we have UK. So you can see that we are really networking. And if you are interested in joining our queue, or you have something to share, or you think you can also you have something to contribute, and also something educative, because we don't just accept and take anything. We want something beneficial, something that the youth or the next generation, the youth of our generation, the young youth or young adult will learn out of it, because we are looking at the future. I want to create and build a better future for the next generation. So for the new viewers who just tuning for the first time, search us on Facebook, which is Grace Networking. Just search on us and we will get back to you. Just search us and just send a friend request and we will get back to you. And so I think we have, let me see what we have here. Yeah, sorry, before I forget, we have proudly members of this month. I actually wanted to show them on the screen, but I didn't work on that. I'm sorry, I'm being stubborn. So we have Sister we have Brother Sakot here, straight ahead from Germany. I think I'll try here to show it so that we will all see it. Pardon me. Or rather do it next time. I'm so sorry. So before we wrap up, Sister Patience, do you have your last word? Your last words.
It's just to say, educate yourself, be happy and enjoy life, and take control of your physical, mental health, and every single aspect of your life, because life is a beautiful thing.
Wow. Yeah, wow. So to our proudly members of this month, I now have their full names. Sister Bridget, straight from Ghana. Next time I'm going to show you a picture. I'm sorry for that. And Brother Sarko, straight from Hamburg, Germany. We've been active this year, this month of May and June. We'll be announcing the proud members who've been actively involved in all the activities. So if you want your name to be mentioned, if you want a shout out from our host one day, just involve and actively do some things. So sister, my co-host, my co-pilot, your last remark before I also conclude.
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you so much to all our viewers. It was such a great time with you. Actually, this is my first time, but it's not das ist einfach gar nicht so schlimm, wie ich gedacht habe. It's not that bad. But to God be the glory, everything was fine. And I really thank you guys for having me here. And yeah, thank you so much for patience. Like I said, we will keep in contact because there are private questions that I have to, ask you privately. So yeah, you will hear from me. And thank you so much, George. It was great hosting with you, Captain Host. I salute you, sir.
Wow.
Yes, thank you so much.
Beauty, you are making me sweat, you see. You are making me sweat.
Ah!
So, actually, we have 5 minutes more to go. I wanted to end it here, but I just saw very important question, Patience. I think I will give the question, I'll throw the question to you. Just think about it for a few moments and just try to help us out. What can be from Sister Esther? Wow. So, what can be the cause of gaining weight without even eating? Please help me out. But me myself, this question, I think I should ask this question because me myself, I'm not going to make fit, but I'm gaining weight, but somewhere else. So please help us. I mean, what can be the cause of it?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's one that I'm quite familiar with. So it can only be, to do with your metabolism. So, we all have something in us that help us burn fat. And, our metabolism is very good when we're young. The older you get, the slower it becomes. It becomes a bit sluggish. Now, once again, taking control. So yes, hormones. I've just seen somebody put up hormones as well. So hormones, and that is all part of that. So metabolism, you can actually work on it and you can improve it. So it's about speeding up your heart rate and burning fat, and that's the only way to do it is to keep active. I don't like using the word exercise because it makes it sound so daunting. But just do anything that's active. Yes, hormones can do that, but you have to kind of have a test to prove it. Much more cheaper if you start working on it with being active to see if that helps you, burn the fat, and then as a result you will lose the weight. If that doesn't happen, then it might be down to hormonal effects, and it will have to be controlled maybe with medication. But if you think this is an area where it's becoming a problem, do speak to your doctor. And what they will do is they will do some investigation. Yeah.
Come on. So, guys, we are getting to an end, but I have a few things on my list here. So, I just want to use this opportunity on this platform to just throw out greetings. The most in Ghana, when I was young in Ghana, they say greeting from abroad. They have this kind of videos. They will call and say, I'm standing somewhere in Belgium and I greet this one. This one is greeting from Grace Networking. Yes. I just want to use this opportunity. Special greetings to all our members. And I quote it in my own words. Special greetings to all our active members. Of course, all our members are great and sweet. Greetings to all our active members and also our moderators who continuously posting things, commenting things, attending to questions and helping people finding solutions to their questions. You guys are doing good jobs. Keep it up. I personally admire you guys. I'm part of the moderators, but before I comment, I think it's 3 weeks later. Come on, keep the good work. And also this special greetings I want to throw out to our production team. Where are they? I want to send this to my brother AB, straight up from China. Is one of our production team, and also to one of our own brother George. They call him King George. Yeah. Greetings to myself and then to all our viewers. Charlie, you guys did a good job. I mean, this meeting would have been that successful if you people didn't tune in or turn up as we invited you guys. We love you guys. And on this note, I just want to remind you guys, and also inform you guys that our next program will be entitled Youth Panel Talk. Youth Panel Talk. To the next level, and this one we will be having four between numbers of 3 to 4 youth from different perspectives, from different countries, from different cities, young ladies and young men, to be on a panel to discuss. I'll not tell you what we're going to discuss about. If you want to know, stay tuned. The flyer will be sent to you guys, or will be posted on our groups, and just prepare. The date is on the 27th of this month. I think it's 2 weeks from now. I think it's on a Sunday. Yes, it's also on a Sunday. So 27th of June of this month, which is this June 2021. The times are, we call CET, 5 p.m., which is Central Europe time, I think. Yeah, 5 p.m. And China time will be 11 p.m. China people, I'm sorry, it will be 11 p.m. And the United States of America, the time will be 11 p.m. So, guys, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. God bless you for making time. And I think, I strongly believe, I mean, jokes aside, I've personally learned a lot. And I think it's a lot that I've taken personally for myself. And I think talking about being selective, things that you hear, people around your circle, and also the kind of food and the how to approve it. Personally, it's some things that me myself, I'm proud to say I've been have a quite a lot of negative challenge with them, because I'll just say with my mind. So, and sometimes I think it's better you just know how to approach some certain things and what to say and when to say it. So, bless you guys. On this note, I just want to say God bless you. And Sister Pat, much love from Germany, much love from Grace Network, the team. We thank you so much. And please prepare something special for us. I'll get in touch with you and we'll have another section. God bless you. So, guys, bless you and stay blessed, stay safe. And as Sister Pat said, take the COVID protocol, because Corona is still